readers, welcome back to Pocket of Poetry. My name is Olivia and today I'm going to be doing my very first reading vlog on this channel. So thus far in January I have started 3 books and those are the books that I'm hoping to have finished by the end of the month. I know it's not like the craziest amount, but there's just been a lot going on and I honestly haven't had as much time to read as I thought I would. So I've been struggling to get through these books, but I just wanted to give you guys a little quick update before I start this reading vlog on where I'm at with my current reading situation. So the first book that I want to talk about is Write It Down, Make It Happen by Henriette Ann Clauser. This is my nonfiction book for the month. I kind of like to start out my New Year's with reading something inspirational and kind of getting me in a motivational mood for the rest of the year. So this is the book that I decided to read this January. I've gotten past the first 3 chapters. I literally just made this makeshift paper bookmark. Something that you're going to discover throughout the course of this reading vlog is that I am a complete and utter mess. I don't ever use bookmarks. If I do use a bookmark, it's like a random object that I find, so I just put this random paper. But anyway, this is about as far into it as I am. Haven't made it super far. And then the other book, which is one of the books that I mentioned in my last video, my 2021 TBR video, was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Look at it, I have it now. Isn't it pretty? Sorry, I used a pen to mark my spot, so I'll show you how cute the cover is. So yes, I just barely went through, because I mentioned in my last video that I actually started reading Rebecca a couple of months back, so it's been a few months since I picked it up, but I wasn't able to finish it. And so I just barely went through to see like where I was in the book from the last time that I picked it up. So I actually made, I want to say I'm like a quarter of the way through. Sorry, I literally have no bookmarks. I need to fix that. But this is my progress so far. And I kind of want to like go back and reread a couple of chapters just because it's been a couple months since I last picked it up. So I don't know. I might just go back and like refresh my memory a little bit on the last couple chapters. But yeah, so this is my other book. And then my third book that I am currently reading this month is called Cavenden Hall. It's a book that I found on my library app. I use Libby, and it's actually an audiobook. So one of the things that I wanted to do this year was listen to more audiobooks, because I've always kind of had like a mental block about audiobooks. I like to read books, or I like to read the words and see them and physically experience them in that way. I've always kind of been that way. But over the past year, I kind of started to get a little bit more into audiobooks and started to enjoy them, and really, you know, it's great to be able to do something else while you're listening to a book and kind of, you know, have it playing in the background. It's great to be able to kind of experience a story in a different medium, especially when you have like a good audiobook reader. So I just want to do more audiobooks this year. I just want, like, you know, I want to be listening to audiobooks in the car and just like as I'm doing stuff around the house. It's just nice to have that. So I decided I would jump into the audiobook pool by starting with this one. It's called Cavenden Hall. It's very it's like a historical drama book. It kind of reminds me of like Downton Abbey vibe. It's set in the year 1913. Anyway, and it's about this rich family that's at this estate called Cavenden Hall. The last name of the family is the Inghams, and they have a family that has served them for generations, and so it's kind of about these 2 different families and how their lives are intertwined. So it's been a really interesting read so far. I have a lot of like conflicting thoughts about it, but it's been really good so far. So those are the 3 books that I'm currently trying to finish. And yeah, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to start off by reading my 2 physical books, because these are the ones that I have not had time to really pick up a whole lot. And sometimes what I like to do when I have 2 different books, especially if I have like a fiction and a nonfiction like I do right now, I like to switch off like reading 1 chapter of the nonfiction and then 1 chapter of the fiction, because I think that's, I don't know, it just kind of makes it more fun. It spices things up a little bit. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try setting the timer for an hour and see how much reading and how much progress I can make in an hour switching off between the 2 books. So that's kind of going to be what I do next. But before I hop into that, I did really quickly want to mention that I decided I'm going to start a reading journal. So I got a bunch of these cute little notebooks for Christmas, and this one I decided I'm going to use as my reading journal. So I haven't actually written anything in it yet, but I want to show you guys the whole process of getting that started. I'm not artistic in any way. I see a lot of people doing like their cute bullet journal spreads. Like, I'm not that cute, but however, I do have some colored pens that I'm going to try and make my reading journal a little bit cute with, and we'll see how it goes. I'm mostly planning to, track my progress on the books that I'm reading, and then write down any thoughts or notes that I have about the books that I'm reading as well. And I'll share with you guys kind of more about what I write later on in the vlog. But yeah, so without further ado, we'll just go ahead and jump right into the reading vlog. Okay, well, now that I've got my candle lit and my snacks all ready, before I start reading, I actually just wanted to give you guys a quick little view of my reading journal. I got some footage of me doing it, which is probably what you guys just saw. But I'm going to show you my current, I guess, reading journal spreads. I'm a complete mess. Again, like I said, I'm not cute and not artistic. So I tried my best to make it cute. Hopefully in the future I can start doing some more cuter bullet journal spreads and stuff like that. But basically what I did is I just put 2021 reading journal at the top, and then I put the name of my book. So I just did the name of the book, name of the author, the date I started the book, date completed, and then number of pages. I decided to do that after, so I wrote it underneath. Number of pages of the book, and then I did a progress bar. So as you can see, I'm like about 25% done with this one. It kind of was really time consuming to fill this out, but I feel like it's going to be really satisfying to see it get filled all the way. And then I just put a section for notes. That's the main purpose of the reading journal, is to just take notes about what I'm reading. So I gave myself like a good page and a half or 2.5 pages worth of note space. And then I moved on and did Rebecca, same thing. I've got the author name, date started, date finished, number of pages, and then here's my progress bar of about 25% progress. And then notes, and then I did the same thing for Cavenden Hall. I just gave myself the same, instead of doing number of pages, I did number of hours since it's an audiobook, and then progress bar again. So just thought I'd show you guys that. That's going to be kind of how I keep track of my reading. Again, it's not like the cutest, fanciest thing ever, but I feel like it will work well for me, and I will obviously be adjusting it as I go. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started with reading now. Like I said, I'm going to be reading a chapter of each book and switching off for about an hour. So I'm much progress I can get made as I read and eat my popcorn. So. About what I have read so far. This book is very much about manifestation and kind of, the title of the book is Write It Down, Make It Happen. So writing things into existence, basically. The chapter that I just read was so cute. It's about this girl who really wants to get married, and she writes a letter to her husband, like her future husband, every day, and like writes down the attributes that she wants him to have, the way she wants him to look, like just all of these different details about him. She got really specific, and then she ended up meeting him. Like, she felt like she was waiting for a really long time, and she ended up meeting him right at the moment when she was about to give up. And it was just like a really sweet chapter. And another idea that they had too in this chapter was to write letters to your kids before they're born or before they're conceived, like writing what kind of child you want to have, or just like writing a letter to the child that you want. So I just thought that was really cool, and I just wanted to share that. She just has so many cute lines in these letters. Like, she wrote about how she was afraid that like she would get stuck in a bad marriage because she saw all these struggling marriages around her. She was like building up her own life and building up her hobbies and just like becoming a whole person on her own without a man, and like figuring out ways in which she could be like the person. It was just like really cute and pure. So I really liked that chapter. So I'm to the point in this book where I'm feeling really bad for the main character. This is really sad. I find it so funny how like it says like, in my shyness and anxiety to use those small phrases that escape from me again, those words I never used except to moments like these. Oh, ripping and oh, topic, absolutely, priceless, even I think to wonder which I would carry. Cheerio. Like, I just think the author describes how it feels to be like a young, awkward person trying to fit in so well. Like, just the way that she describes how like over anxious this girl is. Like, she definitely had, like, it seems like she has like anxiety, and I feel like the author did a really good job of portraying that. And obviously there's other factors contributing to her anxiety, there's outside stuff, but I feel like the author did a really good job of kind of expressing that like feeling of like, oh, I sound like a complete idiot and I never say stuff like this unless I'm in like these situations. So anyway. I'm just now realizing that I've actually read this part already. But I don't think I finished the whole chapter. Oh no, actually I have read all of this. I just realized. Okay, so I'm officially done with my hour of reading. I was able to get 2 chapters of Write It Down, Make It Happen, 1 chapter of Rebecca. The chapters in that one are a little bit longer. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to read more of Rebecca tonight. So yeah, I was able to make some progress. Obviously not a ton, but I'm going to continue reading over the rest of this weekend, and hopefully I will be able to get more progress. So thanks so much for watching today's video. This was my first reading vlog, so hopefully it was somewhat enjoyable to watch and somewhat fun. You can just kind of see my little reading routine. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you feel like it. But I will see you next time.